Hi guys, welcome to another maths lesson with A+ Tutoring. I'm Tanuki and today we're going to be looking at 5 grade 3 NAPLAN-style word problems. If you haven't already, please check out the previous video that was uploaded. Essentially, that was a lesson where I went through a step-by-step process for breaking down word problems. If you have already watched that lesson, please keep watching. Okay, let's get started with the first word problem we've got here. So, whenever you come across a word problem, the most important step, or the very first step, is to make sure you read the question carefully. So, pause the video here and take a second to understand what's going on. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read the question, let's go through any keywords that pop out to us. So, a shelter has 12 cats and 9 dogs. How many animals are there in total? Okay, when we're going through these keywords, some of the things that you should keep in the back of your mind are, first of all, what's the question asking us to figure out? Another most important part would be, what kind of operations might we need to use to get to the answer. So, total is an important word here. Usually when we see the word total, it means, two or more groups might be coming together and you have to figure out how many items, how many, animals, like in this example, how many cars, etc., are all together, right? So let's have a go at solving this question now. So we know that we've got 12 cats and we've got 9 dogs. And we're being asked how many animals we've got in total, right? So this essentially means 12 plus 9, which gives us 21 animals. A quick tip here, like if you struggle to do addition facts like this in your head, something to make it easier might be doing this method. So 9 is very close to 10, so we can think of it as just adding a 1 to the 9, which gives us 10. But if we add 1 to this side, we also need to make sure we're taking 1 away from this side, just to make sure we're balancing things out, which means we've got 11 here. So 12 plus 9 is the same as 11 plus 10, which, both of them give us 21, right? 21 animals in this case. So yeah, this might be a more, like an easier equation to figure out in your head. And again, with any question, make sure you use units. So animals are the units in this question. Make sure you include that in your answer. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. Again, make sure to pause the video here and take a second to read the question carefully. Now that you've had a chance to read the question, let's go through and figure out what our keywords are. So, there are 4 school buses. Each bus carries 22 students. How many students are there in total? Okay, again, we're seeing that important word here coming up in this question as well, which is total. And like we discussed before, total means figuring out how many items, things, or, animals, etc., are there in total altogether. In this question, we need to figure out how many students we've got, right? So we're not counting buses, we're counting the number of students. Okay, now it's time to figure out or think about which operations you're going to be using. There are a couple of ways to figure this out, and always what I say to my students is to do what's easier for you, especially when you're still getting the hang of things and learning to dissect word problems. So, just to dissect the question a bit further, we know we've got 4 school buses. Each of these buses, we've got 22 students in each of them, right? So in other words, it's almost like 4 groups of 22, right? 4 groups of 22. This you can figure out in 2 ways. 4 groups of 22 is like 4 times 22. So this is when we use multiplication. And an easier way to kind of write this down would be like this. So it's workout friendly. So 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we've got our answer, which is 88. And what are we counting here? Students. The other way to figure this out would be to do addition. So let's say, you might not be, for example, comfortable with doing a multiplication like this just yet. In this case, you can just do addition like this. Again, 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, and 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. So, there are 2 ways to figure this out. As you get better and better at word problems, you can kind of think about the time aspect, like, with any test or assessment that you might be doing, you're going to have a time limit. So, multiplication is a lot more time efficient. But if you're still in the process of learning to do these questions, addition isn't a bad method, as long as you can dissect the question, understand what's going on, and figure out a way to solve the problem. Cool. Let's move to the next question. Okay, question number 3. As always, pause the video here, take a second to read the question first, and then we'll move on to solving it. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read over the question, our go-to method is to look at keywords. So, Emma has 36 apples. She wants to share them equally among her 9 friends. How many apples will each friend get? Okay, couple of things to look at here. So, who's involved in this story or example? We know that Emma has 36 apples, right? And she wants to share them. So, when we see the word share, instantly in your mind, you need to think about dividing, right? Dividing those 36 apples, or, giving them out to someone in a certain amount, right? So share should give us divide in our heads. Divide them equally. Equally is also another important keyword here. Equally means that each of her 9 friends need to get the same amount of apples. So one of her friends can't just get 5 apples, another friend gets 3 apples. They each need to get the same number of apples, right? So make sure that this is the same number of apples per friend. And how many friends is she trying to share these 36 apples amongst? 9 friends, right? So in this question, we need to figure out how many apples each of her friends are going to get. She's got a lot of apples and she's got a lot of friends. So let's think about how we can figure this out. One way to go about it is or another kind of way to phrase this would be, sharing 36 into groups of 9. So you've got 9 people that you need to divide the 36 into. So you can do a visual way to look at this first of all. So you can draw 9 circles. Like that. And just go one by one and share the 36 apples. So draw a line for each apple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. In this visual representation, we can see each of our friends. So, one friend, one big circle, gets 4 apples, right? You can see that each of them have 4. So our answer would be 4 apples. The other way, or the quicker way to do this, is to just do a simple division. So if you know your 9 times tables, this would be easy to do. It's like 9 times what gives us 36? 4. So again, it's about building these skills so that you can do these questions a bit quicker as well. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 4. So again, pause the video here and take a second to read the question carefully before we start solving it. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read the question, let's go through the keywords. So, a bottle holds 750 mils of water. So, bottle, 750 mils or milliliters of water. How much water is in 4 bottles? So, we need to figure out how much water is in 4 bottles, right? Again, we're being asked to figure out if we've got 4 of these bottles, like in this picture, how many mils altogether. We know that each of these bottles have 750, right? So it's almost like 4 groups of 750. Like that's another way to look at this, kind of the wording in this. How can we figure out 4 groups of 750? Again, it's, whatever you're comfortable with. So there's the multiplication way, so you can use multiplication. So that'll be like 750 times 4, which is 4 times 0 gives us 0. 4 times 5 gives us 20, so you put down the 0 and carry the 2. 4 times 7 gives us 28. 28 plus 2 gives us 30. So 3,000, and our answer would be 3,000 milliliters. Remember, units are important. Or the other way to do is to do addition, right? So 4 groups of 750, same as adding 750 4 times, like this. So 0 plus 0 plus 0, like whenever you add zeros together, it's always going to be 0. And then 5 plus 5 gives us 10. 10 plus 5 gives us 15. 15 plus 5 gives us 20. Drag the 2 over here. 2 plus 7 gives us 9. 9 plus 7 gives us 16. 16 plus 7 gives us 23. 23 plus 7 gives us 30. You can see, either way, you get the same answer. Multiplication is just a bit quicker. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 5. As always, pause the video here and take a second to read the question carefully. Okay, now that you've had a chance to read the question, let's go look at the keywords. So, Ben buys 5 packs of chocolate bars. 5 packs of chocolate bars. Each pack has 6 bars. So each pack has 6 bars. How many chocolate bars does Ben have in total? So let's dissect this a bit. So we know that we've got packs of chocolate bars. So let's think of it like this. Always, if it helps, draw a picture. So let's imagine that this is one pack or packet. It's one pack, and we've got how many chocolate bars? 6 chocolate bars in each one. So it's like if I draw that out, 3, 4, 5, 6. right? So there's going to be 6 chocolate bars in each of these packets. And how many packs do we have? We've got 5 of these packs, right? So another way to think about this would be 5 groups of 6, right? Again, 2 ways to go about this. Do a simple multiplication, which is 5 times 6, right? Which gives us 30. Or you can count by 5s until you get to like the 6. So, take your hand out, take 6 fingers out, and you can just go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? Either way, you get 30 as your answer. Again, remember your units, which are chocolate bars. Cool.
I hope this helped you tackle word problems like a pro. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more lessons. See you in the next video.